Hello. In this screencast, we're going to take a look at select parameters in reports that are hierarchical. That is, you use one select list to generate a list of something and have the next select list as a parameter be based on that. What we're going to take a look at is a report that we created last time called customer orders. And in the customer orders report, you'll recall that we created a parameter of customer that was a drop-down list of all of the customers. Well, this is a little bit big for the users to navigate, so we want to provide a way for the customer to be determined, maybe or organized by country in this case. So to do that, we're going to need some data blocks to provide the data sources for our drop downs. I've taken the liberty of already creating those. Basically, I created two of those data blocks. The first one that I created was the customer countries data block. So what this does is it's basically a select statement that lists all of the different countries that are listed in the customers table. We could go against a table of countries, but that would provide items in the parameters in the parameter dropdown for which there were no customers in that particular country. So we're going to go ahead and use this select statement. You'll notice it selects the country, and then the country name, which is just a little extra dressing for the label that will be used in the dropdown. So, and the second one that I've created is customers by country, and this is going to provide us the list of customers that are only for that country. So you'll notice it's a select customer ID and company name from customers. Notice if the country parameter is provided, we filter on that. Otherwise, we filter on country as null, so that will allow us to select customers who don't have a country field populated. So having those two created, what I'm going to do is go ahead and go to our customer orders report, and I'm going to go ahead and edit that. I'm going to go to the parameters tab. Now, ideally, I'd want to just redefine this customer parameter, but unfortunately, I didn't program in Forena a way to reorder parameters. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this parameter and start from scratch so that my customer parameter isn't the first thing in the list, but rather my country parameter is the first thing on the list. So I'm going to create a parameter called the ID with an ID of country. I'll give it the country label, and we'll go ahead and add that, and then I will add another parameter called customer, which I will give the customer label, and I'll go ahead and add that. Well, having done that, I've got my two parameters, and now I'm ready to make that country parameter a drop-down list. So again, for input control type, we'll use select with a refresh. And what this means is that select with refresh controls are basically going to cause ajax-based reload of all of the parameters form anytime the value in that list is changed. So that's what differs it from a straight select, which is what we chose last time. So then the data source is going to be the countries, the customer countries. So we'll use that. Again, we could, because the key value pair are in the first and second parameters, we could leave those blank if we wanted to, so I'll go ahead and do that. And I'll hit save, and there is, but then I wanted to do my customer. So in this case, instead of using the customer list, just the list of all customers data block that I used the first time I built this report, I'm going to use the customers by country so that the country parameter, which will get used in this query to generate the list of options that we can provide there. So having done that, I go back here and I take a look, and now you can see I have a country and a customer parameter. So I can choose Belgium, and then we see that the customer list is just those that are in Belgium. Or I choose Denmark, and the customer list is just those that are in Denmark. So then I can hit submit, and those data and the report loads for the selected customer at this point in time. So it's kind of important to, I guess, to understand that here we're using the fact that these parameters are passed in even to the data sources that are used to display the drop downs for parameters, combined with some Ajax refresh support to make that work. If we wanted to, we could take a look at the corresponding source for that in case there are those out there who are looking at the reports FRX files themselves. So there is a customer orders FRX file, and we want to refresh that because we've made changes to it. And as we look in here, we'll see the select Ajax is the type associated with the country query, so that whenever we change the value in the country query, we get that refresh, and we'll see that the other is just a type select, and the data sources can all be specified in here in the FRX file as well.